Howdy doody.
Hello.
Hello, how are we all?
Hello.
Ha. Ho. Bleh. Hi everyone. How the ruddy hell are you doing out there?
Hello.
Hi. Hope you're well. Hope you're fantastic. I hope you're warm and moist in all the inappropriate areas. Hi Homer. How you doing, buddy? Homer. And thank you, Atta, for liking the stream. By the way, there's a question I want to ask Homer. Homer, do we know you in real life? Because I have a feeling we do. Because when he mentioned recovered before. So Homer, have we met in the real world? Not in this little internet spacey right here.
Mind you have mentioned recovered before, haven't you?
I have, but I don't know. Something just gave me a little
tickled your tingles.
Let us know if we do know you, Homer. You don't have to say who you are, just to make it all keep an air of mystery. Hello, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
How was your biker festival, Mark? I hope you enjoyed it. What's going on? What's going down?
Yeah, let's know. What's happening? Was it hot? Was it sweaty? Was it stinky?
Did you ever go to any biker festivals?
No. No.
No one invited me.
No one loves me. No, I used to when I was younger. Oh, thank you, Mark. Martin! Hello, buddy.
Hi, Martin.
Thank you for the like, Mark. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please do follow Mark's example. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll put a little animation up. Somewhere. There you go. There you go. Do the things that this says. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows in this crazy world? Ooh.
That's a bit on the fence, isn't it?
He's being coy. Are you playing hard to get, Homer?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Maybe I'll come up to you at a gig, flick you by the nipple, and then just walk off again.
I'll be dressed in a toga.
Yeah.
With a laurel wreath around my head.
Please, Homer, if you do come to one of our gigs, please do that just as a grand reveal.
Don't say it that way.
I know. It may be several thousand years old, but mate, this has still got it. All right, ladies and gents. So, we're going to kick off with a couple of tunes.
How have you been, Michael?
Fair to middling, mate. You know how it is. Enjoying the topsy-turvy world of...
Topsy-turvy world of the crazy life.
Yes. That. Just that.
I've been fine, thanks.
Oh, good. Ticking over nicely.
It's all about me.
You. Bloody Barley Groove. Alrighty. So let's kick off with this little one. This is just there's no even chords here. Like the Dandy Warhols.
Still a great track, this, isn't it? Huh? Still a great track.
Yeah. You got a new car, so what's wrong with it today? I used to have one too, maybe I'll come and have a look at it. Your hairdo, yeah, I'm glad you like mine too. Yeah, we're looking pretty good, get ya. So what do you do? Oh yeah, I wait tables too. No, I haven't heard your band, cause you guys are pretty new. But if you dig in vegan food, come over to the nook. I'll have a cook you something that I really love. And I like you, and I like you, and I'm feeling so bohemian like you. And I like you, yeah I like you, and I feel whoa.
Hey, Jim.
Hello, Jim. Wait, who's that guy? He's hanging at your pad. He's looking kind of bummed. Oh, you broke up, that's too bad. And if it's fair, if he doesn't pay the rent and he doesn't get paid about sleeping on the couch when I'm there. And I like you, and I like you, that I'm being so bohemian like you. And I like you, and I like you, and I feel, whoa, woo! I'm getting wise and I'm feeling so bohemian like you. Yeah, it's you that I want, so please. Just a casual, easy thing. Here as it is for me. And I like you, and I like you, and I like you, 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 and I feel, whoa, woo!
That's a little coin of compliment.
Squealer! I've just realised the smoke machine's just run out of juice.
I know, you love that smoke machine.
I
You were
do.
so depressed when it didn't come on. You're like, what the
fuck?
What the deuce?
Right, while I do that, you can ask Mark about his
Mark.
things about his weekend.
Yeah, so Mark, you're going to need to tell us a few things. So number one, right, where was it? I know where it was, but anyway. Where was it? How many days was it? I know the answer to that as well. Did you see any good bands there? Did you see any good bikes there? And normally at those things they have some quite interesting stalls and stuff. Did you see any nice stalls? Anything interesting? If not, well, it was quite a waste of however many days, even though I know the answer, however many days you spent there. Oh, he's really... Oh, now he's filling this up as well. So, yeah. Anyone else get up to anything over the weekend that was interesting? Where were you playing? Were you playing anywhere this weekend?
Me and Matthew. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We did just a duet kind of just a two-piece at the Boar's Head in Braintree.
So that would be a duo, because a duet would be two singers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so a duo.
A duo, yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Is that technically right, though? I think it is, but I'm not sure. Not 100%. A
Yeah,
duet would be two-part singing, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
I would have thought so.
And a duo would be two people together.
Yeah, because I can't think...
Slapping it around.
I mean, can you have a violin duet?
I guess you could.
So could it just be the case of the voice? So
Just two musical things together would be a duet.
Yeah. So
it could be that, a duet, but then it would also be a duo, because then you'd be a trio if it was three of you.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
is it just vocal?
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, you wise, wonderful people out there.
Motherfuckers!
Let us know this shit. We need to know.
Yes.
Damn it. Shit. Right.
Right.
Okay, we'll do another song and then we're going
Jim
to...
said, could it be that the Nazca Lines are an ancient racetrack? Oh.
Well, we are going to talk probably fairly in depth. Simon sent me this over and I've watched 3 documentaries on it.
Excellent.
So
It's so interesting, isn't it?
it is interesting.
You're going to make me learn today.
Well, possibly. we'll see. But no, it's a definitely interesting subject.
So one of them is 6 miles long.
Yeah.
That's some mad shit.
But I have people... Well, we'll
We'll have
talk-
a people.
We'll have a people. We'll talk about it in a moment.
Yeah.
Right, so let's do... Do you want to do Drive, Incubus?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I've got to plug my acoustic in for this.
Okie dokie. Yeah.
I don't have to.
All of you other crazy kids, let us know what you've been up to, because we are genuinely interested.
Yeah, anyway, as you didn't ask, I was with Sons of Southport on the weekend.
Ah!
It's just all me.
Well, you always tell me your life isn't that interesting.
So you're just taking it for granted.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I just get the feeling you just don't want to talk about it anymore. Friday to Sunday, pissed and confused in Chelmsford. Band wasn't all that, if I'm honest. Pissed down on the morning as we're all packing up. Joy. I must admit, when it rained today, I did thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah?
Walk out there, took all my... No, I didn't. I just went out there, got rained on a bit, went, oh, it's cold.
If you took off all your clothes, you would have just stood there, but the rain would have missed you. You're so thin. Still dry.
Someone would have walked up and who left that flagpole there?
Luckily there's a toothpick. I could do with that.
Yeah, when the Queen actually died, someone tried to hang a flag off me half-mast.
Just out on your cock. Right, so...
Okay, let's do some track. Doing it with track, yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Why the fuck not?
Do you ever take your bike out in the wet?
It's a bit of a personal question. Was that a euphemism? Or? Yeah, I ride in all weathers.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I'm not a ponce. I'm not one of those posers.
I'm a bike ponce, yeah?
No, basically, I can't afford to have a nice car or anything, so therefore I have to ride my bike everywhere. Okay, I need lyrics for this motherfucker.
Martin, I've been sorting out new speaker for DJing. What speakers did you get?
Oh yes, he put him in touch with Mr. Matthew, and because Martin is becoming a bit of a sought-after DJ. People want his funky grooves in their ear holes and everywhere else. So the speaker set he had would not have been able to handle being outside. So I introduced him to Matt, who he's met before. But I said, Martin needs speakers, and Martin has got in touch with Matt, and he's sorted him some shiz out.
What did you get? I'm always interested in gear. Now I have a picture in his head. He's got a picture in his head of you doing a rain dance.
Just imagine a stick insect looking rather ill.
Like Gru.
Yeah.
Not Gru. What was the tree called? I can't
Groot.
remember. Groot. I am
No,
Groot.
Groot had more muscle on
Baby Groot.
Baby Groot. Sapling Groot.
Twiggy Groot. Right, come on.
Oh. Okay, here we go.
Drive. Love this track. Not how we're going to play it, obviously, but...
Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty stinging clear, and I can't help but ask myself how much I'll let the fear take the wheel and steer. It's driven me before, it seems to have a vague, haunting mass appeal. Lately I begin to find that I should be the one behind the wheel. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. So if I decide to waver my chance to be one of the high, will I choose water over wine and throw myself and dry? Oh, it's driven me before, it seems to be the way that everyone else gets around. Lately I begin to find that when I drive myself, my light is found. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. Would you choose water over wine? Hold the wheel and drive. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. With open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
What a track.
Shamo,
motherfuckers!
Right. So, as you see, Carrie has not joined us this evening. So she was going to, but she's done a 9-hour cleaning day. So she is
Poor little pup.
in pain, resting up indoors. So, to Carrie, mwah, darling, hope you feel better. Even though you've got to do it all again tomorrow.
Well, do you think that she's done 9 hours and the last thing she needed was another hour with you?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep, absolutely. Right.
Pair of 15s, PV Pro powered speakers, so much better. Yeah, they would be. You should get yourself a sub as well. Some big bass. Because that get your bass nice and clean.
Big monster bass.
Yeah, but if you've got two 15 PVs, yeah. You only really need one sub
Yeah.
with that. You don't need two subs. So you
Nia! Hello, buddy. Saw a vid of Saviours covering Royal Blood. Figure it out this week. Could you play it for us this evening? Oh, shit, we don't have it, do we? Hang on. Trying to figure it out.
Did you hear about him going a bit mental at a gig? Or he
No.
got upset with the audience?
Oh, what
so
did he
I think
do?
they were doing the big, the Radio 1 big weekend, and he turned to the audience and said, like, sing this bit, and no one knew the words, and he was like, he got really upset.
Oh, fucking hell.
And said, don't you fucking know a rock band when you see one? It was like,
That's Kings of Leon did exactly the same thing.
oh, really?
Yeah, because if you've ever seen a Kings of Leon show, it's about as energetic as a library in a morgue.
What a great turn of
Yeah,
phrase.
and like, I don't know how he's like, oh, I suppose you guys ain't ready for a real rock and roll band. It's like,
We are, just
we
not-
are, yeah. They just haven't come on
Are
yet.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. And he called them pathetic. He said, oh, you're pathetic.
Wow.
Oh, people were like,
Fuck you then.
it's a festival crowd.
Yeah. Oh dear. Egos. We'll have to add that one to our playlist, Neil. So, yeah, that would be a good one to add in, wouldn't it? Right. Okay, so we're going to go on to our little chat subject now. So, I've got to remember. Here it is. Let's have a chat. Oh, right. Okay, for some reason the sub thing came back up again. Never mind. Right. So, our conversation tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is about alcohol. And why you shouldn't drink in the stream.
Have you ever had any alcohol? Like, have you ever had a good drink of anything?
A little bit.
What did you drink?
Whatever was in the bleach cupboard. No, I've been drunk once in my whole life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I thought you hadn't drunk anything, but you have.
Yeah, I got pissed on half a bottle of Ouzo.
What was that like? What's Uziel like?
Aniseed and shit.
Oh yeah, that's the Greek. Drink.
I have no idea. It was the only thing that I could literally... Basically, my friends were getting drunk. I was 16 years old. And the only way I could even stomach drinking the shit was to drink that and then bite into a cheese roll straight afterwards.
That apparently is the, you know, like when you have tequila, you got to have a lime and stuff. That's how you do it with the cheese roll.
Yeah,
that's apparently the way they.
That's the real hardcore way of doing it.
TL, nice to see you.
Hello, buddy. But yeah, it was. All I did was just act a bit more of a tit than usual. And the thing is, let's be honest, I'm enough of a twat sober. Nobody need. And the thing is, I get the feeling I would be a really nasty drunk.
Oh, really?
Well, the thing is, I know a lot of things about people they don't know I know. So first of all, that could kind of like open Pandora's box a little bit.
Oh, so you enjoy punching people with your mouth?
Yeah. So it'd be that kind of thing, like talking to a guy and his girlfriend and be like, "You're so lovely. Why are you with this cheating fuckwit? Do you know the shit he's done?" You know, it would be like that. Or yeah, because I have to rein myself in a lot anyway. Believe it or not, I do. And yeah, so it probably wouldn't be wise.
Kirsty was a real nasty drunk.
She was nasty sober.
Yeah, true enough. But
and if you are listening, it's true, so get over it.
moving on.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So TL...
was the best thing you ever did?
TL, I've got to ask you, because some time ago you asked for, he asked for the Uriah Heep number, and I've been meaning to put it in, but I keep forgetting to
which one?
It. The, what, there's one that
We've got Stealing. Is that Uriah Heep?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Stealing,
is?
Yeah. I was just wondering, did you hear their last album, and what did you think of it? Just wondering. Don't know, maybe you don't like them.
Yeah, well, you know, there's no vested interest in this question.
No, but I'm always interested in that. So, yes, it's really vested. Right, come on, so let's talk Nazca.
Okay, right, so, here we go. Oh, look at that. Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, the Nazca Lines.
So, do you want to do a bit of an overview of it, or are you going to go straight in?
Let's put a picture up first so everyone can see what we're looking at. So, let's go for the big one, the good one. Right, there we go.
Thank you.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, so Nazca's in Peru, and it's a desert plain.
It's the Nazca Desert, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, and it's there's a few outcrops of hills, but it's pretty much flat. And I think this was first noted back in the 1200s that people thought there was lines in there, but it was only when the Air Force in Peru, which was, I think, in the mid-50s or late 50s or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was kind of after World War II when sort of commercial aircraft was starting to sort of span...
Well, I think actually it was the military, because they were the ones flying over the desert, and they were the first people to see these... So these shapes are kind of embedded in the desert plain, and they're so big you can't see them from the ground. You can only see them from the air.
Not strictly true.
Right, so...
Carry on.
The bigger ones, anyway.
Yes, the bigger ones.
So the lines you can be aware of, but people weren't aware of the geometrical shapes and the drawings and stuff. And also the attention to detail of how those geometrical, they're called geoglyphs, are. So it was only when so they thought there was just kind of abstract lines, and people didn't realise, they thought, it was... Because I think it's in the Sahara Desert. No, it's not the Sahara. There's another desert where there's stones, and they would move, and people couldn't understand how...
Oh, Death Valley.
Death Valley, is it? I think you may be right.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done. And so these stones were moving, and people couldn't work out how they were moving. They would kind of see them, and then they would take pictures. A lot of it was kind of noticed as well when kind of Google Earth and stuff. And these stones would be moving apparently on their own. And then there was a load of scientific research done, and they found out that it was when they were wet that they would rise up, and then as they would kind of move with kind of slight winds and stuff like that. So they would be very gradual, but that's what they reckon aided it. So they weren't moving on their own, as opposed to this, where they're clearly geometrical shapes. This is not an accident that happened. And also with some of these pictures as well, you'll be able to see so that thing there is 6 miles long. 6 miles long. That's insane. It's 6 miles long, and it's on a flat plain, so you can't really be aware of the whole scope of it until you see it from above. So yeah, that's kind of. Sorry, I've babbled on too much.
That's all right.
So go on.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna have to blow my nose quickly.
you do that. So it was believed that there's multiple schools of thought when it comes to the Nazca Lines. What they were used for, how long they've been there. They believe it was between 3 to 500 BC to sort of 3 to 500 AD was the sort of the scope of time where they were created, and there's all different ones. Some people say that what they think happened was you had the initial designs and then they were added to later on, because there are all different types. You have, for example, these really sort of prominent sort of geometric shapes. You also have, for example, stuff that looks more sort of non-geometric, but obviously representing certain animals, certain gods.
And also, some of these aren't native to Peru for the time that they're recorded.
No, but there was also a lot of trade around that time, around the area.
So when you say that time, around that area, what do you mean? Because it's been barren for hundreds of years.
So you're talking around, again, they reckon that these were between sort of 500 sort of BC to 500 AD.
Yeah. Or CE, as they say.
Yeah, CE, as they say now.
Christian era.
And if you look at a lot of the designs that you find at the Nazca Lines, a lot of them are reflected on their pottery as well. So, and as the pottery changes through the centuries, they think that that's sort of where perhaps, for example, that the main, what do you call it, the main leaders and the religious cult leaders, if that changes, the gods change as things evolve throughout the years. That again, the Nazca, the drawings themselves changed as well as the pottery as well. They say that there's...
So also as well, they believe at that time that they were kind of an early Aztec kind of roots.
I didn't hear that part, but...
Right, go on.
But they think what happened is from the sort of the coastal regions that they migrated up into the desert. I can't remember the name of the type of people. What's that? They flung slaves into the air catapult and they screamed what needed to be done next before crashing to their demise. Absolutely. But one of the readers say, why...
Yield to the left!
Yeah. So one of the big questions is, why are they there?
Yeah.
Now, some people think aliens straight away. They think that this one here is a runway for a spaceship.
Well, originally it was called that because people thought, the first pilots thought, that looks like it's a runway strip, especially for the length of it. But the ground is not conducive to being able to land an aircraft there.
Yeah. So, some of the schools of thought, for example, one of the most obvious ones are a tribute to the gods. Massive, great fucking thing on the ground, symbol to the gods. You know, whether it's in sort of a representation of different gods, whether it's for, you know, hoping for a good harvest, for a good... Because even though it's out in the desert, one of the really important things about this is they had irrigation. They irrigated from the mountains around, and the irrigation actually ran... It was not one of these ones where sort of it runs overground. They had basically underground aqueducts. Yeah. That sort of ran, and so it was actually a very fruitful place to live.
So, yeah, it was believed to be a lot more green. This is before this, but at the time of this, the plains were dry and desolate. That's why they were able to carve it in there. Otherwise, if it was flora and fauna, they wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah. And so yes, one of the schools of thought is...
That may be historically incorrect.
Oh, do tell Neil. Oh, what? Oh, he's talking about the flinging slaves.
Oh, right.
No, I'm sure that's how they did it. I think they aligned to solstice. That's
so you're
another...
right.
That's another...
You're right, Homer, but some of them do and some of them don't.
Yeah. This is one of the things. As the years... Again, there's a lot of theories with no sort of real concrete evidence.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems. So all of it is theory and conjecture because there's no understanding or proof to any of this. So literally, it could be anything. It could be that, you know, God came down and went, "Ooh, it's you," and did it with his finger.
Some of the schools of thought say are symbolisms for the gods. Some of it is actually they believe that some of the lines and various things actually align to water.
Cardinal points as well.
Yeah, cardinal points, but also following the water irrigation system, so to lead to where the water
Which is
is.
fine for the lines. So that's fine for the lines, and that seems logical. It's these type of things. So I think it was Jim said it quite possibly they're just an ancient irrigation system, and it's just coincidence that it looks like something. That cannot be, unfortunately, Jim, because I can look at it.
Yeah.
So for the lines, yes,
But
that's understandable. But this is very different because these are geoglyphs in the same way as Stone Age men, Native Americans. I'm trying to think of some other native communities where they would do pictographs, or they would do these. I mean, these are some of the largest glyphs in the world, and they are insane. And some of these things as well aren't native to Peru, and there wasn't a great deal of travel of. This is before the Orient Road. This is before people were traversing the world by boat, but great distances and stuff like that. So that's why it's such a mystery, and that's why it's so fascinating.
Yeah, but there is a definite connection between the glyphs and the pottery of the time. So you can see the images are represented on both.
Okay, and what point does that make?
That it obviously, it's not just dawdles. It's obviously held some possibly ritualistic belief.
So if you're saying it was important, these things are like nearly a mile long. So yes, of course it's important. Yeah. But that's the whole thing.
But as in,
it's
the
so
point.
big.
The point is, as you say, it's not just pointing to water lines. It was something significant in the culture that it was represented.
But that's exactly the whole point. It's just it's not like they had a spare weekend, so they thought, let's knock this shit out.
No.
It's obviously such a. Again, people don't quite understand that. The understanding of geometry was so in its infancy at this time as well. So to be able to, a load of scientists have tried to work this out to be able to recreate it from the ground, and they found it incredibly hard. But that's with their knowledge of geometry as we know it now.
That's interesting, because I heard on the documentaries I watched, different. They said that with a simple understanding of geometry and the tools of the time, like you can blow up, for example, if you take...
With a simple understanding of geometry, but geometry was not understood, greatly, or even as well, like the things we take for granted, just kind of simple arithmetic and stuff like that.
Simple geometry was about then. If to build around that kind of time, you were looking at the pyramids as well. But no, the pyramids were even before that.
Yeah.
So if they...
But that's in a different area. So the Egyptian culture was so much more advanced than the rest of the world.
Where was the Minoan culture?
Minoan?
Is that Greece and Crete?
I think that's going back to kind of like the 1500s or so, as far as I know. 900s to 1500s BC.
Yeah, so that was in Greece, wasn't it? I think. Was it Crete?
Sure.
It might be Crete.
I don't know.
But I mean, from what they said that they found on some of the sites were, for example, poles, pegs, rope, which is one of the easiest way to create shapes, because you can do it very simply by... No, you honestly, have you ever upscaled a drawing? Yeah. So therefore, if you have your idea of a drawing, once you upscale the measurements, you can do it simply by lines, literally pegs, rope, lines, and things like that, and markers.
Right, so in essence, that sounds very straightforward. To work out your ratios, to then work out your angles and your degrees for, say, so like the curve of the back there, But that, you've got,
there's nothing uniform about that. So, I mean, there's also the way, for example, you ever taken a small picture and you put a grid over it. I'm not saying this is how they did it, but if you were to map out a grid and then upscale that grid, you can then basically draw into the grid each grid section.
Yeah.
For upscaling. So, considering they found these things on the site.
So, again, think about this, right? You've got your thing. You've drawn your little monkey here, and you've drawn a grid on it. Now you want to take this, and that's going to be a hectare big.
Yeah.
And you've got to work out where that arc is to match up with the arc from this.
Yeah, but you can look at that and you can see that, it's fairly freeform in places, so it's not 100...
I really disagree with that.
Look at it! Nothing is uniform on that. It's all over the show. You look at the circles on the end.
So if you think, just say the bow of the back there, if you've got, say that's, that one there I think is, again, it's another massive, you can see that aeroplane must be, I'm trying to guess where that would be, even at kind of 800 feet, which would be
So
really
basically
low
we
flying.
need to find their notepads. Yep, absolutely.
That the back of that is going to be massively long. Like, it would be like about 6 times as long as your road. No, probably longer than that, right? You've then got to work that out into a grid and then work out what that arc is.
Yeah, it can be done.
Everything can be done, mate.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Peru in like 500 BC.
But they did it.
No.
So,
Okay. Well, it's obviously a very simple thing then.
no, but it's with the tools that they found there.
Yeah, they could have just knocked it out in an afternoon.
No, but of course, it's like anything. It takes a phenomenal long amount of time.
Yeah.
So, but with care and
They probably
attention...
just did it for a laugh. I mean, to be fair.
But some of them... So I've watched like multiple documentaries. I'm only going by what they've said on it. So
Yeah, I've only seen that picture.
No,
so, yeah.
but the thing is... Okay, here's a question for you. When two people have both gathered evidence from the things they've seen...
Yeah.
And they both bring it to the table, if it's conflicting, who's true?
No, there's no one's true. Because nobody knows. That's the thing about this. Nobody knows. Monkey needs some Imodium.
Yeah. But there's one interesting thing, because they say that a lot of these...
There's only one interesting thing.
Yeah.
The rest of it's a bit boring.
So he's really pissy now that I've actually watched something.
No, I'm not. How? How is that?
Well, no, because whenever I've suggested something, and this is what they said, that it can be replicated, it can be made larger, your response is, well...
Sorry, can you say that again? My response was... Okay. Meaning...
I don't know, it's just a noise.
Okay.
But no, it was like dismissive.
How do you mean dismissive?
As in...
So we're debating a point.
Yeah, but don't you think a small image could be upscaled to that size?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, why did you disagree a minute ago?
You're going, oh, but it can easily be upscaled. I don't think it can be easily upscaled. I think you're underestimating the task of the geometry.
I don't think if you're working from like grids, for example,
So this is one of the scientific problems with this, is that any of this can be done. And it's not a problem. What's interesting is, first of all, it must have taken a lot of effort to do it. It must have been very important for them to do it. What force... But when you're talking about it, you're going, well, they had pots with this on, so it was obviously something to do with ritualistic or religion. Okay, fair enough. And if you have a small drawing of it, you can just upscale it. So...
No, but I also said that some of the things...
That's straightforward.
No, but I said some of the things they found...
But the task of doing that is,
it's still a monumental task.
That's where the wonder of it is.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with
But
that.
the way you're saying it is like, well, yeah, but if you do a grid on it, then you can just knock it up.
But your argument...
Okay, fair
Your
enough.
argument was... You said that they didn't have a decent understanding of geometry back then to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, they didn't.
But see, I've heard different...
They did. They knew all about geometry.
But...
I don't know what to say to that. So,
yeah, but that's what I mean. So when we have two conflicting sort of pots of evidence...
Yeah.
So with several documentaries that I've watched saying they did...
Which is fine. That's what the scientific debate is about, is that some people are saying exactly like you, you can just recreate it. If you've watched some of the things where they've tried to recreate it, they do the recreations, but they do them so much smaller. The scale these things are on are just... I think Simon's overcomplicating it. How? How am I overcomplicating it? If you understand...
Because it's just a monkey with diarrhea.
If you see the scale of it, when they've tried to... I'm trying to remember the scientist that was doing it. It was him and a lady were doing it. And, the scale they were doing it was a lot smaller. But even when they tried to do it, and they're two scientists that are experts in their field, they still didn't recreate it 100%. And so And they acknowledged that they had some problems, but they had very much your opinion that, it can be done quite simply.
Yeah, especially when you've got, for example, people at the time, there's a lot of lost skills that, same with, there's certain questions, was it building the pyramids, or was it one of the other sort of great wonders, where they said that the carving of the blocks were so precise.
Yeah, so like Olio and Tambo is like that.
Is that the one?
That's one of them.
Yeah. So, but then there are ways of doing that kind of thing. If you've got certain fixed measurements, like for example, people say, how did they do angles and things like that? One of the old ways was, for example, with a pendulum. And if you basically have a little floating, if you get like a puddle of water, I'm not saying here, but if you get a puddle of water, that is your ultimate flat horizon. Because water and gravity, it just sits there, that is your thing. And then you have a pendulum hanging down, and then you mark when the pendulum sits perfectly down, and that gives you your perfect right angle. So that sort of is one of the ways that you can start with something like that. And also, if you make fixed...
But on Ollie and Tambo, that wasn't the case.
No, but I'm just saying there's primitive techniques that were actually...
Yeah, so there's loads of techniques that have been lost, and there's loads of... what does the small drawing look like? I mean, it's not real good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is one of the other points. Some of these, and this is where they said that the meaning...
Actively look up the math.
They don't actually actively... Hang on. I mean, it's not real good. Really, I think it could be done easily. An artist has a pick in their head. They don't know. No, see, I think, again, it's not easy. And I agree, it's a mammoth task. But I think it can be done. But
well, obviously it can be done because it's done.
Yeah, but how it was done, I think, is what we're sort of debating.
Not really, no.
Okay, but one of the other things that, because not all of them are on the flat plain, some of them are on the hills, on the sides, and they said that also...
So like the figure is on the side?
Yeah, the figure, I think there's an animal on one of the sides as well, and they said that they, again...
So like, for instance, there's a hummingbird, which is one of them there.
Yeah. But
that's not native to the area. So that's why that's interesting. Also, the scale of that thing is insane, and also the way that it's done is... There's, I mean... like with the straight lines and stuff, that's still... It's still not an easy thing to do.
No, absolutely. Like anything I'm saying does not take away from the magnificence of what they've done. It's just saying, like, how they did it. Yeah, it's on a massive scale, but with enough people and enough tools, enough things, you can almost move mountains. You wouldn't want to try, but, if you can make a pyramid and do all that kind of thing. But one of the things that they did say about some of the ones on the sides of, like, the mountains and things like that, they said they think that the meaning and symbolism of them may have changed over time. So where some of them may have been a tribute to the gods, they think some of them may have been, and again, this is all conjecture because it's all just theories.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, that it may have been, for example, there's one of a snake eating a human being. So they said, this is one of their ideas that was featured on the programme, that was it to warn of, because I think that one's on the side of a mountain, so was that one to warn of, basically this is in that area of warnings to other people, some might be forms of communication to other people. They think they may have changed the meanings of why they did it over the centuries. So that was one of the sort of multitudes of reasons. But one of the really interesting things about, for example, this is a really nice thought. Again, who knows if it's true or not.
Did you put any of the other ones up?
I only had the time to put 4 of them.
Okay.
But with, for example, the bird, one of the reasons they think that it's all done with a single line. So it's literally one point, and then there's no sort of multiple joining points. And they said, again, conjecture, but what they think may have happened is on religious celebrations and religious festivals that people would walk it. Yeah, people would walk it to basically bring the image to life for the gods to see.
So that's one particular scientist.
Yeah.
That said that that's what he reckons they did. But again, there's loads of other scientists.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's just everything I am saying is just different scientist schools of thought. I'm not saying any of this is for definite.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Huh? That sounds like you want to fight about it.
Okay. I agree with TL. Art doesn't have to be mathematically defined.
I think there are, like, one of the things like crop circles.
I don't really understand that.
No, like, for example, crop circles. They've had and obviously on a much smaller scale, but when they've measured crop circles, some of them have been incredibly geometrically accurate, haven't they? Whereas these, you can see, even though it is an incredible feat, you can actually look and see that, like, the difference in the wings and the feathers, and especially the feet as well. They're not symmetrical.
Right.
But they're not, are they?
Yeah.
You looking at that, they're symmetrical.
No, I didn't say they were.
Oh, what did you just say yesterday?
I just said yes. You're right. It's not symmetrical.
Are you angry with me?
Why would I be angry?
I don't know. You've gone. Oh.
So you're talking about the crop circles. That's a phenomenon of the last 100 years, as best as people know. This is 500 BC to 500
Again, I'm not
AD.
taking anything away from that.
Yeah.
I only brought up crop circles because of what they said about the.
Turn that drawing up the other way, and it doesn't look like a bird, or like an angel or another being.
That's true. With big fuck off tail feathers.
Big claws.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you want to add?
No.
No? He's had enough. So that's what we both know about it, what people have said about it. It is a very interesting subject, and again, one of those ones that...
I think what Homer said is true. I think the point is why rather than how.
What would you... If you had to lay your money down...
Couldn't lay my money on anything.
You have to.
Can't.
Your life depends on it.
Can't.
No?
I don't know. I just honestly don't know. I guess it would be that it's, you know, a load of people say because they are so big that they want it. These people wanted it seen from the sky, so it has to be something to do with gods.
Yeah.
That sounds.
That's what I bet my money on.
It's kind of plausible.
I want a time machine. Here's a question. Okay, here's a question for you then. If you had a time machine, when would you go back to? If you could pick one period of time.
Yesterday. I had a great fucking day yesterday.
Fucking amazing.
I think it would be the seeing the pyramids.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's so much about the pyramids that I know that I'd love to find out the answers.
See, for me, I think it would be dinosaurs. I'd want to go back and see, because as incredible as the pyramids are, they're still built by people. And, you know, even though obviously it's several thousand years ago, people are still people. Whereas if you go back and see dinosaurs, that's something that is on a scale that just isn't around anymore.
Also, as well, the length of the dinosaurs, not the length physically, but they were around for, was it 160 million years?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's Cretaceous period for me.
They've been extinct less than they lasted.
Really?
That's insane, yeah.
It's like Bon Scott being in AC/DC. Everyone always goes, oh, yeah, he wasn't in it for a fraction of the time.
I'd go back to watch them make these drawings.
Yeah, just to settle a debate. All right, so yeah, that's our thoughts on that subject. For what it's worth, we're no experts, as you well know.
It is a really interesting thing, though. So many.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed watching the documentaries about it. It's really good. Should we play a tune?
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Get rid of that first.
That would help, wouldn't it? Actually, I look better like this.
He's an angel.
I look better covered in sand. Wrong button. Where's it gone? What am I doing? No, nearly pressed a really bad wrong button there. There we go. That's the one we want. And I need to go back to the main screen. There we go. Right. What should we do? Would you like to do... Did you want to play drums? Or?
I honestly don't care, man. What do you want to do? Just choose one and we'll go.
Do you want to go White Room?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I believe that is on here. Are you ready, sir? room with black curtains near the station. Black roof country, no gold pavements, tired starlings. Silver horses ran down moonbeams in your dark eyes. Dawnlight smiles on you leaving by contentment. What a load of bollocks. I'll wait in this place where the sun never shines. Wait in this place where the shadows run from themselves. You said no strings could secure you at the station. Alright Neil, we'll do that for you. Platform ticket, restless diesels, goodbye windows. I walked into such a sad time at the station. As I walked out, felt my own need just beginning. Oh, I'll wait in the queue where the trains come back. Lie here with you where the shadows run from themselves.
It's like a moonshine.
At the party, she was kindness in the hard crowd. Consolation for the old wound, now forgotten. Yellow tigers crouched in jungles in her dark eyes. I'd shit myself because of that. She's just dressing goodbye windows, tired starling. I'll sleep in this place with the lonely crowd. Lie in the dark where the shadows run from themselves.
Right, solos in D. Solos in D.
I've got bad hand. I can just about hold my willy when I go for a wee.
You're holding your wing.
Hold my wee. Simon, ladies and gentlemen. See what you did there. You snuck in a bit of all along the watchtower, didn't you? Right, okay, we've got time for one more. Neil has asked for Man in the Box. Neil, we haven't seen you for ages, so...
Love this song.
It's such a good tune. I never heard it until you recommended doing it.
Oh,
And then
really?
after that, it's one of my favourite tunes. Here we go. Booyah!
Boodly bib.
Biddly boo, biddly bum. There you go, Neil. That's for you, you sexy bastard.
It's a great track, that,
Oh,
isn't it?
what a banger. What a banger.
What an absolute banger.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Pleasure as always. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you,
Thanks,
Homer, who we may or may not know.
That's very kind of... I may know you. I may not know you.
Well, you were probably closer... If we do know you, Homer, please tell us how the fuck those lines were drawn, because you were there closer to the time than we are. All right, everybody. Mwah. Much love to you all. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. What are you doing at the weekend, Simon? What are you doing?
I'm playing somewhere. I think Friday... I don't know. I don't know. I'm somewhere Friday, and I think Saturday Langdon. Friday Southend. Southend.
Okay.
And, yeah, with Saviours.
Shall we? What we'll do? We'll ask Missy if she can tune in at 5 minutes to. Just type up all where you're playing. I'm just doing a private show that nobody can go to.
Oh,
so.
Mark's told me. Yes, the Cowan Telescope. Thank you, Mark. Yes, that's where I am. Yeah.
I think that is one of the best venues around, personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the Crown is for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like the Cowan Telescope.
Yeah, Crown's kind of like a home from
the
home.
Cowan Telescope used to be such a great place to play. It's kind of coming back now. But
I've always had such a lovely bunch of people there. Always have a good time.
Wherever we play in Southend, there's always a really nice bunch.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully they all do the rounds. They all live locally. So, yeah.
They live in Southend.
Oh, awesome. All right, everyone. Take care.
Have a lovely
Much
week.
love.
Be good and kind to everyone you meet.
Mwah.
See you Friday. See you, Mark. See you then.
Bye-bye. Yes, we're still debating this. See you all later.